Welcome in, everybody, once again to Titans Tube. We're back at it again with another preview video. My name is Justin. This is Jake, as always, with me. Guys, Titans are on prime time this week. Sunday night football as they travel to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field to take on a 10-3 number one seed Packers team. Jake, this is going to be an enormous test. It's an enormous test. We know what this pass defense is, and we know what Aaron Rodgers is, and that could be disastrous. But we have the king, and they have a suspect run defense. We could be in for a good one, Jake. How are you feeling coming into this game?
I'm feeling good. I'm going to save you from the commenters. The Packers are 11-3. I will just throw that out there. I know you might get a wave of comments. Oh my God! But I'm feeling good about this game. It's going to be a definite bet the over game. I know it's going to be cold, frozen tundra, Lambeau Field kind of thing, but I don't think either of these teams' offenses are going to succumb to either of these teams' defenses in this one. It's going to be kind of who has the ball last. At least I think that's what everybody's thinking heading into it.
Yeah, for sure. An interesting point, though, is that, this is the NFL, and a lot of times games won't play out the way you think they do. Case in point, I think everyone thought that when the Titans played the Browns, it was going to be Derrick Henry versus Nick Chubb, and whoever had that better ground game was going to come out on top. But the Browns came out throwing the ball and throwing it well, and Baker Mayfield dropped 38 points on us in one half. So I don't think it's going to go that way again. I think that was maybe, a little fluky, but also just kind of the way sometimes the NFL can hit you with some games that go ways that you don't expect. Yeah. But I would expect this to be a back and forth high-scoring game. For sure. I think everybody is kind of anticipating that. But before we get into it, as we like to do, we like to go back and look at the results from the last time that these two teams played each other. And this is an NFC team, so we got to go back 4 years, just like we did last week with the Lions. And Jake, year is 2016, and this was the first year of our 9-7 run where the Titans became relevant again. But this game sticks out because the Green Bay Packers came into Nashville, and Marcus Mariota and this Titans offense laid the smack down on the Packers. And I think this was really the first signature win in a long time. I think we had a decent around 500 record at the time, but, we were kind of beating teams that were also at our level or worse. But the Packers were a really good team coming into Nashville. And the fact that we beat Aaron Rodgers, an elite quarterback, I remember my mind was like exploding. I was like, Marcus Mariota is the real deal. He just outplayed Aaron Rodgers in Nashville. I think we won. It was 47-25. Man, and what a great game! I was there. The DeMarco Murray first play of the game, 75-yard run. Lots of great memories from that game, and that was kind of a point when we were seeing this franchise kind of turn it around as a whole. So yeah, what do you remember from that game?
All I remember is sweet, sweet revenge, because if you look back even further to 8 years ago, the last time this Titans team went to Lambeau Field with a Jake Locker-led team, and it was late in the season. I want to say it was Week 16 as well. In that matchup, the Packers had won 55-7. So smackdowns are apparent in this series. I think this one's going to be a little bit closer, you would hope. But it was nice to get that revenge on a Green Bay Packer team who embarrassed us in Lambeau 4 years ago. Totally different teams, obviously, but it's nice to have that.
It was 55-0 at one point. And if you probably are familiar with that meme that kind of comes up around Christmas time every year. They have that shot of the Titans fan in the Santa hats, and he's like looking really depressed. And then underneath it says "Happy Holidays," and it shows the scoreboard 55-0 Packers. Yeah, hilarious. But yeah, it was that game, one of the worst defeats.
Yeah.
Not
so hopefully this trip to Lambeau will yield different results than a 55-0 score bug and, a sad Santa.
Thankfully, we have a infinitely better offense. I do not foresee the Titans getting shut out in this game by any stretch of the imagination. And we can start it right there, Jake. Let's start off with this Ryan Tannehill man. This man, Ryan Manahill. He's only accounted for 5 touchdowns in last week's game against Detroit. What do you see in this passing offense, though, going up against Green Bay?
Yeah, so, this passing offense keeps staying a little behind the pack at 19th. They stayed right where they were after last week, putting up 238 yards per game through the air. And this Green Bay passing defense isn't bad either. This Green Bay pass defense is actually top 10. They rank in at ninth, giving up 227 yards a game. They do have Pro Bowler Jair Alexander leading the group at corner. Opposite him is Kevin King, who was a first-round pick, if I remember correctly, a couple of years ago. Adrian Amos and Darnell Savage are a great duo back there at safety. So this is a really solid core group of players in their secondary. And Green Bay's pass rush can get to the quarterback. Obviously, Zadarius Smith leads their team in sacks. He's kind of their keynote guy. They're top 10 overall in team sacks. Imagine the Titans having that in their back pocket, being in the top 10 in overall sacks. But yeah. I would look for Green Bay to try to stop Derrick Henry. Obviously, I mean, all the teams the Titans are facing are selling out to stop Derrick Henry. So it's going to come down to Ryan Tannehill continuing to be efficient. And, it would be great if he could repeat his 5-touchdown day against this Green Bay defense. And he very well might have to. I mean, Green Bay had a shaky showing last week against Carolina. So we'll see how it goes, man. I think the Packers secondary and pass defense might have a slight advantage as far as the numbers. Tannehill is playing out of his mind right now. I don't know how you feel about the Pro Bowl snub. I, for one, who gives a rat's ass about the Pro Bowl, let's go win some playoff games kind of guy. But, it's a nice accolade for a player to have. So, we'll see how it goes, man. What do you think, Justin?
Well, first of all, about the Pro Bowl, Ryan Tannehill only has better stats and has won more games than Deshaun Watson. And also, Ryan Tannehill has won more playoff games in one season with the Titans than Deshaun Watson has in his entire career with the Texans. And I'll just throw some facts out there, guys. Just throwing some facts about our boy Ryan Tannehill. Pro Bowl snub. But, yeah, like you said, I don't care. It's a crapshoot anyway. It's a popularity contest.
Exactly. I mean, you look at Deshaun Watson, he's in the Next Gen Stats commercials, and he's in XYZ commercial, and who's not? Ryan Tannehill, and that is your snub right there, pretty much.
Maybe he'll get a guest appearance on the Old Spice commercials with Derrick Henry.
That would be great. That would be nice. I mean, his Madden character technically got a commercial spot.
Yeah. But back to the actual game that we're supposed to be talking about. Yeah, I guess we are a little bit salty about that Pro Bowl snub. We just had a kind of a little side rant about it. But, yeah, looking at this Titans offense, we are number one in the league in scoring by like 8 points. Okay, I realize that. But we have one of the elite offenses in the league. This Packers secondary, like you said, they're a much better group than the Detroit Lions battered secondary that we faced last week. So it's going to be a little bit tougher going, I think, for A.J. Brown and Corey Davis. But, man, as long as the pass protection holds up against these guys, I trust Tannehill to find the spots, and I trust our guys and our own actual Pro Bowler, wide receiver, and A.J. Brown to get separation. And even if they don't, they are so good at contested catches and traffic anyway. And Tannehill's good enough to squeeze the ball in any tight window that you give him. So I still love this passing offense. It's hard not to give them the edge. Packers ranking 9th in yards given up per game is kind of better than what I expected. I'm seeing a lot of Green Bay fans really down on their defense, but and we'll get to their rush defense here in a minute. But, both of those don't stack up as bad as what I've been reading online, especially from, like I said, their fans. But, yeah, we'll see. It'll be a good matchup because if Derrick Henry can't go, like you said, can't get anything going, if they hone in on him, then, this might have to be another Ryan Tannehill game. I'm sure the Titans would like to run the ball for the most part because the cold weather games, you would like to hammer Henry into the defenders and really make him feel it. So we'll see how the game flow kind of goes. But if we have to pass the ball, I think we can still find success. Pass protection has got to be the key, though, to keep Tannehill on his feet. But I would give us the advantage in that category.
I'm saying push, but, it's Titans tube, not Packers tube. So if you want to give us a slight advantage, I think I can live with that just because we've seen Ryan Tannehill really turn it on in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. The bias, I think that happened last week. The bias, I think, does fall
swayed the needle.
Because, the advantages of being a Titans channel. Great. All right, let's move on then to the Titans rush offense versus Green Bay Packers rush defense. This is our bread and butter. Obviously, Jake King Henry leading the league in rushing by like 3,000 yards. I think it's more like 200. But 1,670 something yards coming into this game. As a team, we average 160 yards per game, which is good for seconds in the NFL. And Tannehill is helping out with those numbers as well, showing some moves. Last week, diving for the end zone on a 17-yard scramble. And we got to see welcome back Darrington Evans. Dude, I'm excited to see this guy take the field as a change of pace back and kind of zip through these holes. He looked like a zipper out there running. That seems to be the word I keep using.
Darrington Zipper Evans.
Darrington Zipper, lightning, flashing Evans. He'll find a nickname if he continues to play like he has been. This Packers rush defense, though, they seem to be afraid of Henry, but I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm seeing the 11th ranked rush defense in the league at giving up 110 yards per game. Yeah, people have made the point that the Packers have such a great offense that they do get up on teams, and so they kind of just abandon the run, and they can't really rack up those rush yards. So it could be kind of what do you call it?
Misleading.
Mirage.
Yeah.
I almost said hologram. Man, I'm a little rusty here.
In the future.
That's what football's going to be like in the future. Bunch of holograms. But a few personnel people on this front seven that we're looking at. You said Zadarius Smith. I think he is kind of that key guy. But he is definitely a pass rusher, I think, first and foremost. But, a very, very good defender on the front seven, along with Dean Lowry, Kenny Clark, Preston Smith, also a great linebacker on the edge there, and Christian Kirksey, a quality inside linebacker for him. So they got some players for sure up front to make some noise and hopefully disrupt Derrick Henry. But it's been a while, I guess, since the Cleveland game, since Henry's been disrupted. But he kind of got taken out of that game early because the score was so lopsided. But, yeah, man, this rushing attack is so difficult to stop. And as long as we don't get down by 3 touchdowns in the first half, we're going to keep feeding Henry, and eventually he's going to get his at the end of the day. So I don't know how you can go against the number 2 ranked rush offense in the league when matching this category up on paper. I would give the Titans the rushing advantage. I mean, simple as that. We got the best running back in the league and the numbers to back it up.
I don't think it's too controversial to give us the edge here. We've been getting the edge almost all season long with the king back there. It's getting to a level where, like, it's the kind of, you don't bet against Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes these days. Tom Brady more so in the old school, but you don't bet against Patrick Mahomes these days. It's getting to the point where you don't bet against Derrick Henry not, getting over 100 yards in a game. It's becoming absolutely ridiculous and so much fun to watch. You almost laugh to yourself sometimes watching Derrick Henry, especially when he gets those, 6, 7, 8-yard runs on first down, and you can just feel it. You just feel that the offensive line has the push. He's going to get his every single time, and that's, when he can stack up those 5, 6, 7-yard runs, that's when the big ones come in. We saw like a 30-plus yarder last week. He almost capped it for a touchdown, couldn't quite keep the feet on the shoestring tackle. But Derrick Henry, man, what else can we say about the guy? He's the king. So yeah, not controversial at all to take the edge in this one.
He got 147 yards against the Lions, and it was like
a quiet day.
Oh, okay, that seems pretty casual, but sure, we'll take 147. Great. It almost didn't even feel like it. Like he only broke that 130 long 30-plus yard run, but you look up and it's like, oh, he has over 100 yards, and it's like still in the first half. This is ridiculous. But yeah, okay, so we got the advantage offensively, but something tells me we're not going to get these advantages on the defensive side. But we can start it out, Jake. Let's talk about this man, Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
MVP front runner, and that's with bias. I think he's legitimately right now at this very moment the MVP. A lot can happen in 2 games though. But man, Aaron Rodgers is on a tear, and that's saying something because he's Aaron Rodgers, and he's always on a tear. So do we have a chance, Jake? What is our pass defense?
Oh man! You're talking about the potential, MVP quarterback of the 2020 season. He's got to be licking his chops because guess who's coming to town but the Tennessee Titans, bringing their 29th ranked passing defense into this one. They give up 276 yards per game. I fully expect Aaron Rodgers to have, I don't know, way past that, maybe 300 yards because he is a bad man. Aaron Rodgers has been dominating the league. Everybody knows it at this point. He looks to Devontae Adams, who was debatably one of the better receivers in the league, if not number one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. You could make the case for him to be the best receiver in the league right now.
Yeah.
After him, it kind of drops off to guys like Alan Lazard, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, kind of some, less household names, but they still have had decent production under Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Sometimes I feel like I could go out there and run a 5-yard out and catch, a couple a game with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. But I think the real X factor as far as this passing attack goes for Green Bay, yes, everybody knows Aaron Rodgers, everybody knows Devontae Adams, but big Robert Tonyan, their tight end, is on pace with Travis Kelce. He's got 10 receiving touchdowns this year. He is a red zone threat from hell. I don't know who's going to be covering Robert Tonyan, who catches multiple touchdowns a game, it seems. Aaron Rodgers is always looking to him, if not, Devontae Adams on the fade route. So who knows what this Titans defense is going to bring to the table against, Aaron Rodgers and his toys. Adoree Jackson being back. Pardon me. Adoree Jackson being back made me cough and choke because it's such a weird sentence to say. Choking up. But he looked comfortable last week against the Lions. Yeah, he only played a little under half the snaps, but I thought Adoree performed well in the moments that he came in. Looked good in coverage, looked athletic and quick, that like we're used to Adoree Jackson looking like. But man, oh man, there's only so much one man can do. This could be a bloodbath, Justin. I don't know. Do you think the Titans have any chance to slow down Aaron Rodgers?
No, I don't think we do, honestly. Well, I didn't think we had a chance to slow down like Lamar Jackson last year in the playoffs, and that was amazing that we held them to 12 points. That was ridiculous, but that was a completely different defense. That defense was way better than the one we're seeing this year. Like everyone seems like a threat in a star player on their offense when Aaron Rodgers is throwing you the ball. And he can do it in so many ways. He can dink and dunk his way down the field with short passes across the middle and screens like that. Or he can take the top off the defense and throw just the most accurate 55-yard bomb you've ever seen. It's going to be a huge game for Kevin Byard. I think we need to be smart with him and let him play deep and just keep everything kind of in front of us, not allow the big, gigantic chunk plays as best we can. Adoree Jackson coming back has got to help. And I think that was maybe the plan for weeks now. They're probably thinking if we can just get him in the Lions game, we really need to have him against this guy, Aaron Rodgers, here for this game. Because, I do feel a little bit better with him back, and hopefully he's feeling even better with yet another week to rest his knee. But still, like you said, what can one man do on an 11-man defense? Devontae Adams is like Malcolm Butler's done a good job on shutting down number one receivers. I mean, he's done it a few times this year, but Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers connection is just on another level this year. The only one that can rival it is maybe Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. But, I think Devontae Adams is playing the best out of any receiver in the league. So, huge task for Malcolm Butler. Big task for Byard. Everybody in the secondary, really. But, regardless, we're probably not going to get pass rush on him. So, he's going to have all day to throw, which is going to make things even more miserable.
Yeah,
they should get 2 check marks in this category.
Can we give them a double advantage? Yeah, perfect. Jinx, you owe me a Coke, man. Another X factor when it comes to this Titans defense, I think, and we talked about it being overshadowed in the Detroit recap, but this defense came away with 2 red zone turnovers on the Lions, and they ended up winning by 21 points, but Detroit very well could have and probably would have ended those drives and touchdowns if it weren't for 2 fumbles by the Lions that the Titans picked up. If the Titans can be opportunistic on defense, it kind of comes down to it. We've talked about it. It's either the other team is going to score or the Titans are going to get a turnover. There's no in between.
Exactly.
It's got to be that kind of bend, don't break as far as red zone defense goes. They have gotten a little better throughout the year, but still, this defense has a long, long way to go, and here we are in Week 16 saying that. So, definite double advantage to the Packers passing offense.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be tough. The same thing against the Lions. Like, we weren't really stopping them, but we did come up with turnovers. But, dude, Aaron Rodgers doesn't turn the ball over. I mean, we're going to have to somehow get a strip sack or punch the ball out of one of these running backs, which is what we can talk about now. So, double advantage in their passing attack, but this rushing attack isn't a slouch either, man. Aaron Jones is a quality running back, and they like to give it to him. As a team, they rank 8th in the league in rushing at 128 yards per game. Titans rushing defense had a good game last week. Who was it? Oh, it was DeAndre Swift. They did okay against him. I think he got a couple touchdowns, maybe average 4-ish yards per carry. But that's the better part of this Titans defense is the run defense. They're pretty good in short yardage situations. Surely a guy like Aaron Rodgers knows that. It's like 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. He's got to think like, oh, we're passing the ball. And they very well easily can. That's a very advantageous situation for them anyway, to throw the ball with as many things as Rodgers can do. But like I said, Aaron Jones is a very, very quality running back. He can catch the ball. He can run it. He's quick. He's strong. He's got moves in the open field. I think he's top 5 in the league in rushing. He's closing in on 1,000. And oddly enough, there's like only 3 players so far that have 1,000 rushing yards this year. And Derrick Henry is closing in on 2,000. So we're a completely backwards team, it seems like. But behind him is Jamal Williams, who's a decent running back to come in and kind of spell Aaron Jones when he needs a breather. But shutting down Aaron Jones is going to be tough too. Just like the Titans offense, this Packers team can throw it on you and they can run it on you. So man, it's going to be tough. And if they have success running the ball and to help them utilize play action with Aaron Rodgers, good night, dude. That might be all she wrote. We got to be able to win some kind of matchup. Probably going to have to be in the running game if we're going to get any kind of stop or force any kind of punt against this Packers offense. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the numbers lean towards the Packers as far as the ranking in the NFL. I would give them the advantage here too. I mean, we don't have an elite run defense by any stretch. They're literally middle of the pack of the league. And for some reason, we excel in short yardage situations. We'll give up 5-6 yards on first down, but 3rd and 1, we'll tackle you for a loss or force a fumble. It's weird. I don't really understand it, but I would still give them the advantage here. Well, I don't know. What do you think?
I would have to agree with you. Just the eye test. Aaron Jones is, one of the more, I think, underrated running backs. Everybody wants to talk about the king, Derrick Henry, and obviously Dalvin Cook. James Robinson has come up as one of the leading rushers in the league this year. Aaron Jones was in the mix for the rushing title late into the season last year. And, without Aaron Rodgers going off for his newest MVP season, Aaron Jones very well could be in that rushing title category if it weren't for, Derrick Henry just taking the absolute top off of it all. He's a great athlete. Jamal Williams, both of them can catch the ball out of the backfield. They can be X factors doing that as well. Obviously, this offensive line has 2 Pro Bowl selections. I know I said who gives a rat's ass about the Pro Bowl, but it's something. This Titans run defense has to win the matchups when they get them. I expect Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball overwhelming majority of this game. But when they do decide to show mercy and hand the ball off, this Titans run defense has to take advantage and win that matchup. But yes, I will give the advantage to the Green Bay Packers rushing offense in this instance.
Dude, that's funny. I think every single time I see Aaron Rodgers hand it off to Aaron Jones, I'm going to be like, oh, thank God. Oh, it's just a one play. Oh, they only gave a 5-yard rush. That's fantastic.
That's going to be a huge win.
Yeah. As far as special teams goes, I mean, again, Gostowski's not missed a kick, and Kern, I think he only had like 1 punt or maybe 2 punts against the Lions. I don't know, not much to speak of. We did give up 1 long punt return. We did have Nick Westbrook-Ikhine make some really good quality coverage plays too. So just except for that kickoff coverage instance against the Lions, I think our special teams is looking pretty good. They are definitely not the disaster that they were a month ago. But, I like our special teams. And, they have a quality kicker and Mason Crosby. Who's their punter?
J.K. Scott, all good. I'm always tasked with finding the kicker and the punter each week with the opposing teams. J.K. Scott's been there, I think, for a couple of years. He's a very serviceable punter. He's pretty decent. And Mason Crosby has been with the Packers, it seems like, since Lambeau Field was built at this point. So he is a pretty solid, consistent kicker. Again, I can't give us any advantages until the regular season is over. If Gostkowski doesn't miss a kick in the next 2 games, I may consider giving the Titans a special teams advantage come playoff time, but not right now. I'll give it to the Packers and their long tenured kicker and punter. Justin, do you have any keys to this game? How can the Titans go to Lambeau and come out with a win?
I'll keep it simple. I'll keep it straightforward. The offense, I trust this offense to put up points, but we cannot afford to lose any possessions via turnovers. We can't give the ball to Aaron Rodgers and their offense on our side of the field for free. We at least have to get a punt in for Kern. And even a punt is bad. I don't want to say offense, you had got to score a touchdown on every drive, even though it kind of may end up feeling like that. But just no turnovers from the offense. I'll keep it that simple. And we're very good at that this year. And I think that's a large reason why we are 10-4 at this point. We got 3 turnovers last week for the defense and 0 on offense. So that was looking good last week. Hopefully that continues. On the defensive side of the ball, this is going to sound silly, but I will give this team a chance if they hold them to 35 or less points. If I give them 5 touchdowns, I'll be like, okay, well, of course you got to expect that. So our offense is, going to have to pop off yet again and bail out this defense. Because, man, I'm sorry, I just really don't see a scenario where we're going to be able to slow down Rodgers and Jones on the ground. So offense is going to have to bring it. If the defense can just stop 2, maybe 3 total drives from the Packers, bend but don't break. If we force a Mason Crosby field goal in the red zone, that's a win.
Huge
that would be huge if we'd be able to do that. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'll take the Titans winning this game 38-34. High scoring shootout. Yeah.
I like it.
So we'll see. It could be a slugfest for no reason. And the Packers or Titans will win like a 17-13 game. And it won't make any sense. It's the NFL.
Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great?
So we'll see. I don't know. What do you think?
I love what you said about not giving the Packers offense any extra possessions in way of turnovers and things. You give Aaron Rodgers a short field, you might as well just, bring the defense back to the sideline and just let them score at this point.
Yeah.
So, don't turn the ball over on offense. That was going to be my number 1 key to the game. Number 2 was going to be force at least 3 punts the entire game. That would be nice. The more comical version is hold them to under 40, which is what you said, hold them to 35-ish points. Yeah. This Titans offense can score with anybody. Don't get away from giving the ball to Derrick Henry, because when Derrick Henry has success, Ryan Tannehill has success. This whole Titans offense has success. So just do what you do as an offense. Don't turn the ball over. I'm going to pick the Titans to win this game. I feel like Green Bay, a big stat coming into this one, Green Bay is 1-2 against teams with winning records. They haven't faced a lot of top-level competition, so to speak. So hopefully the Titans can come in and kind of shock this Packers team. Hopefully the defense shows up, plays the game of the year, because I think that might be what it's going to take to slow down Aaron Rodgers. I will take the Titans winning this game 41-31. 10-point affair. I'm going to go with Titans by double digits.
That would be nice. Yeah, drop another 40 burger on an NFC North team in back-to-back weeks. I like it. It's great. Interesting. Yeah, we already filmed our picks video, and you did pick the Packers in our picks video, but that's probably just because of the
superstition. Just a little system.
Yeah, superstition. I'm trying to think of that word. Yeah, of picking opposite, and then because we have a good track record of you picking not the Titans in that picks video. I did like what you said about feed Derrick Henry regardless, especially early. If we go down 14-0, don't panic. Just play your game, play your offense. We've come back from deficits several times this year to almost win, or sometimes to win, facing double-digit deficits. So just play calm. If things get out of control early, like they did against the Steelers and Browns, just know that we've been there before and we can claw our way back into this game. No reason to change up the game plan or anything. Don't change up whatever you're doing. This team, is very calm and collected. And, I think with backs up against their wall, if we are in that situation, we're pretty good. We're pretty good at delivering in those instances. So
like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Justin's got to run. Tighten up. Have a great football weekend, and we'll see you soon. Justin,
Yes.
take it easy, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Take it easy, y'all.
Peace.